Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2013. My name is Mike Henry and this is the second video from Tutorial 7. In this video we're going to learn what it means to name a cell and then name a range of cells. After we've figured out how we name these and why we want to name them, we're going to learn how to use the name manager, especially if we want to edit things. And then lastly we're going to learn how to define names for other people who may be coming in our footsteps and using our spreadsheet someday. So we're going to take a look at a concept here of using cell names and naming ranges. And we've been used to, for example, I'm in this cell calling this F13. We have the F, we have the 13, we have the F13 up here. But what we're going to do is see that now as we move into our professional career here in spreadsheets, we would be able to name that cell. And so I'm going to name this cell, instead of it being called F13, I'm going to call it season fee. And watch what I do here. I click up here in the name box and I am actually going to type in here the word season fee. And I hit enter. And now you'll notice that when I click on this box, automatically up here it says season fee. So all I have to do again is click on the cell that I want, come up here and I'm going to click on where it says F14 and I'm going to change that to this one. I'm going to put it as discount amount. Now I have to hit enter. If I just tab off and go somewhere else, I'll lose that name. So I do have to hit enter. Notice when I hit enter I stay on the field. I don't drop down one, and that's because I'm staying in the name box area. So I've just named those couple fields. Now I could also come up here from D2 all the way down to F10. That is a range, or that's a block of cells. Now I can do the same thing here. Instead of having this be called D2, I am going to change it to say player measurements, because that's what this table really is showing, is our table measurements. Now why this becomes of use is I have this drop down here, and if I want to suddenly go to season fee, all I have to do is click on there. I want to go and find out what the table is, I can do that. So I'm able to quickly use this. If I decide later on I want to use it in a formula, all I have to do is click right here, and if I did equal and I started typing in season fee, you can see right here there's a name tag called season fee, and if I were to use that, you can see that whatever's in this cell appears over here. So there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be doing with this, and there's an advantage to naming cells. Now over here we have a set of names and then we have a set of cells, and none of these have been named yet. And some people are going, I don't want to retype all this, and I could do the copy paste, but that's a pain. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to highlight both this column and this column, and I'm going to come up here on my Formulas tab, and I have the ability to come over here and go create from selection. Now notice it's get confused. It says I got things above, I got things to the left. So what I'm going to do is turn off the top and say whatever the names are here, name these cells those things. So when I click this now, you can see that registration date became here. You can see this becomes player name. Now I want you to notice that it says player hyphen, or excuse me, underscore name, registration underscore name, and the reason it is because it will not acknowledge spaces. Because there were spaces there, what it did is it decided to stick, let's come back to here, you can see it put the underscores where those spaces were. So we've quickly and efficiently labeled an area or a block. Now that we've named all of our cells, let's take a real quick look at what we can do with the name manager. So again, on the Formulas tab, I have right here the name manager, and if I click on this, you'll notice it shows me every cell that has been named. It shows me the name of the cell, it shows me the current value of whatever's in that cell, and then right here it tells me what sheet. We can see that that's on sheet receipt and what cell number it is. And so it gives us information. More importantly, if we wanted to edit one of these things, I also have that capability right here. So right here, where we have this one that has spaces in it, I can come and click on this one really quick, and I can go edit. And if I didn't want those spaces in there, I would be able to hit the delete key and hit the delete key, and now I have city state zip all capped and more like a true database name. So being able to edit these are very good. Not only can we edit these different pieces here, but we'll take season fee. If for some reason we move season fee to a different cell, I could just come in here and change it from the F column over to the K column. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't want that in this one. But we could also change where it refers to. This is actually probably more useful for if you've got a range. And so in here you can see player measurements was a range. We could change the range numbers if they added in some more youth groups. Now after we've used our name manager, we might want to come over here, and if you're doing this sheet for a business or someone else, we might want to give them an understanding of names. So what I'm going to just put in here is we're going to define the defined names that we're using. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of retyping all of those things over and over again, I'm going to come up here where it says use in a formula, and I'm going to come down here to see paste names. And when I do this, I'm going to paste the entire list, and you can see now here's the names of the fields, or excuse me, the names of the cells, and over here you can see what cell reference that went to. So this can be very useful if you're sending this spreadsheet out to a lot of people and they're not familiar with how you did your naming. So in this video we learned about naming cells. We learned how to give a cell a name. Instead of calling it F13, we're going to call it season fee. We learned how to name a range of cells. Instead of calling it D2 to F10, we're going to call it player measurements. Now we're making it sound English, and that's really what we want to do here, is make it easier for people to understand. We saw that we can use that later on when we're going to do some formulas. We played with the name manager, so we learned how to edit a name or a cell reference to where it goes. And then we learned how to take and put all those names into a documentation page really quickly and easily, instead of us having to retype everything over and over again.